Hey, Masonic Heights families, mostly parents. This is Mr. Barranca here. And I know that with the start of the school year only 2 days away, the need for information is at a premium. And it is extremely important that you understand not only what the first day of school looks like, but what the first week and really what the first 2 weeks look like. So, what I'd like to do is I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. I'm going to walk you through an overview of the calendar for the first 2 weeks, and then we'll go through and talk about what it looks like specifically on certain days for your kids. So, here we go. All right, so here's an overview of the hybrid schedule the first 2 weeks of school. Remember that hybrid means that your student will be coming for in-person instruction. The way that we set it up is the first 2 weeks, they're coming in for a half day per week. And here we go, let's check out the breakdown. We'll start with Group A. These are students, last names A through D. If you're in Group A or if your child is in Group A, on September 8th, the first day of school for the school year, they are coming to school for a half day of in-person instruction. Reminder that a half day starts at 7:55 a.m. and we dismiss at 11:05. So they're in school for that half day, and any other hybrid students, groups B, C, and D, they are working from home that morning. They're working asynchronously, which means that their teacher is not synced up with them and teaching the lesson live through the Chromebook and the internet. Asynchronous means that students are working remotely at their own pace, in their own time, or in your family's own time. So keep that in mind. There is some flexibility there on your asynchronous days. So, with that said, Group A will go home at 11:05, and then you'll notice that on Tuesday, nobody has afternoon work. It's a scheduled half day. Then we look at Wednesday, the second day of school for the school year, and it's Group B's day to report to school. They'll come for their half day of in-person instruction, while students in groups A, C, and D will have a full day of working independently, asynchronously from home. Once that half day is over and Group B dismisses at 11:05, they will go home and they still have their afternoon work to do from home then that day. Those Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday are still scheduled as full days of school. So they will still have a full day worth of work, just half a day in school and half a day at home. Thursday is Group C's day. They will report in person. Groups A, B, and D will have a full day of working remotely from home. When Group C goes home, they'll work on their afternoon activities and assignments asynchronously, independently, at home. Let me move my face so we can see Friday. And on Friday, that's Group D's day. They will come in for their half day of school, in-person learning. Groups A, B, and C will be working for a full day at home. Once Group D dismisses, they will have their afternoon work to do from home with flexibility in their schedule when it best suits them. Now, I will remind you that on these half days, when students are reporting, we do offer free breakfast and lunch through the end of this calendar year. So on days that students report to school, they will be offered a free breakfast to eat in the classroom that morning and a free lunch as they are leaving to take home and finish preparing. From what I'm being told, it sounds like there might be some microwaving needed in order to eat some of the food. Don't eat it raw. Let's look at the second week of school, and here is week 2. You're going to notice that it follows the same pattern. Group A comes in for a half day on Tuesday. Group B comes in for a half day on Wednesday. Group C on Thursday, and Group D on Friday. On the days that you're in a group that doesn't report in person, you have a full day of work to work at home at your own pace on. All right, let's break it down a little bit more. Here are some things that we're asking students to bring on the day that they report to school. They should bring their love of learning. This is where I'm looking at on this slide right here. They should and could bring a refillable water bottle. We are not using our drinking fountains with our lips this year. We are only using water bottles within the school and refilling them. They should bring a mask, a face mask, because they are required for all students in our district this year. And they should bring their Chromebook and cord. We do ask that they come charged. It's actually really important that the students don't have to come in with a battery that is dead and charge it during the school day. Here's how you can help yourself and your student to get ready. Here's some bullet points at the bottom of this slide. You could finish and complete the Power School registration form. It's actually linked here, and I can go ahead and put the link in the bottom of the video as well. You should create your parent Schoology account. If you did not receive your Schoology account password and access code from School Messenger, please send me an email and we'll go ahead and get that to you. You and your students should practice logging into Schoology. It's going to be very important this year that we have Schoology masters and wizards out there in our Masonic Heights community. Make sure that you understand what day you attend or what day your students attend. I cannot tell you that I'm so nervous for Tuesday morning to see which student with the last name, I don't know, somewhere between L and Z shows up on Tuesday. Oh boy, please don't let that be your child. Try to come up with a spot that you want your student to work at in their house, in your house. And I know that doesn't always work. Sometimes we're working with our Chromebook on our lap in our bed. Sometimes we're at the kitchen table. Guess where I'm at right now. Sometimes we're huddled in a closet because our siblings are super loud and the dog is barking. We've been there. So try to find that routine. Hybrid students, when they're learning from home, follows a very similar schedule if you want it to. I would encourage you to ask your child to log in at 8 o'clock, just like they would be if they were in the building that day. I think it's important that we try to build some sort of consistency for them so that their system isn't shocked every time that they're required to be in school. Let's try to mimic the school day as much as we can when we're at home as well. Now, obviously, with some work schedules and childcare schedules and internet schedules, and there's just so many factors, that's not always going to work, and I understand that. But I think that if we have the ability to give any sort of consistency, we should. When you're working virtually, students and parents, please know that you will be working off of the weekly agenda folder that your teachers will be uploading into Schoology. That's where you're starting. It will be in the 1A course. So make sure you look for that there. 1A, that's the agenda. It'll help lead you through the week. Now let's transition into this. This is our hybrid schedule. It looks a little intimidating, and I understand that, but I can break it down for you really fast. When we say class connection, that is logging in to check on what has been assigned for you that day. So remember, we're checking the 1A course. That's where our agenda is, and getting our learning activities from the agenda for the day. Now, I will note on here, you do want to take note of these times. These are the times that your students can log in for a synchronous specials lesson in the afternoon. What that means is that our specials teachers will be available to offer live connections to our students at these times. So just for fun, let's look at the very first row here, which is kindergarten and first grade. So on Wednesday, kindergarten, know that in your weekly agenda, you will see a link and instructions how you log in to meet up with a phys ed teacher from 1 to 1:30 on Wednesday. First grade special, you'll be logging in for music that day from 1 to 1:30. Again, you're finding this in your weekly agenda. And this is the afternoon synchronous connection portion. All right, moving on. Let's talk about our students out there who are 100% virtual. They will not be entering the building at this time. And here's how this schedule looks. my gosh, it looks very similar. It's very familiar because we're trying to keep it very consistent in terms of pretty much everything as much as we can. So 8 a.m., the virtual student experience starts daily. We ask that they log in to Schoology at 8 a.m. There'll be, hold on a second there. That didn't look good. At 8:05, we got a Pledge of Allegiance to start our day, just like when we're in school. And then they will have a live, synchronous, with their teacher, classroom meeting and their classmates from 8:15 until 8:45. Not only that, but they will also meet up again that morning with their teacher and classmates between 10:30 and 11:10. Keep that in mind, okay? So start scheduling and thinking about the day in that sense. They will have live connections with their teacher and with their classmates, half hour from 8:15 to 8:45, and then 40 minutes to end the day there, 10:30 to 11:10. Again, at the bottom, parents, here's how we can help our students get ready for remote learning. Fill out that registration form on PowerSchool. Create your parent Schoology account. Practice logging in, especially for a virtual student. They will literally be living in Schoology. And again, they will also follow the same special schedule in the afternoon. So you'll see their class connections are on there, 8:15 to 8:45 in the morning. They're logging in, and it'll all be shown on the agenda how they accomplish this. Some teachers will be using Schoology meetings, where they just click in from Schoology. Some teachers will be using Google Meet with a link, and the student will just click on the link, and they'll open up Google Meet. 10:30 to 11, that connection there with live, synchronously with their teacher and classmates. And then in the afternoon, they'll be logging in for their live, synchronous specials. All right, that's our calendar as we move into these first 2 weeks. Feel free to replay this video as many times as you need in order to kind of get a feel for what this calendar looks like and what the schedule looks like. Feel free to email me if you have questions. I know a lot of you have already reached out. My hope is that this answers any additional questions that you might be harboring that you just haven't brought up to my attention yet. Feel free to reach out to your student's classroom teacher. They are, truly in charge of the learning experience here for your kids, and we want it to be a great one. So again, everybody starts Tuesday, September 8th. If they are a hybrid student and they're in Group A, we'll see them at school actually showing up for school. It's going to be amazing. If they're virtual, they're logging in at 8 o'clock and logging into their class, meeting their classmates, meeting their teacher, seeing them all for the first time this year. If they're hybrid in their groups B, C, and D, they have a little more wiggle room and they can log in the morning, see their assignments, and then prepare for and get excited for their first day in person. Group B on Wednesday, Group C on Thursday, and Group D on Friday. Okay, I appreciate you all. This was a lot to take in, and if you're still watching, you deserve a really special air high five. So here you go. All right, that was it. I'll see you. Thank you.